listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio. We are here once again, and today we have another show lineup for y'all. Today we have a special guest, Tatiana Flow. She has a website that you can go to. It's real simple, tatianaflow.com. And today's subject, we're going to just talk about removing the barrier between the head and the heart. And Tatiana has a great resume, but just to give a little teaser, she has worked in finance for over 15 years with Wall Street professionals. She has had her clients, in New York real estate, some of the wealthiest people on the planet. She's raised money in Silicon Valley for her startup, and she has also launched over $4 million valuation and has solid profitability. So first and foremost, Tatiana, thank you for your time today. How are you doing?
Thank you so much, Shemaya, for having me today. I'm doing great. How are you?
All's well. I'm doing great as well. So for our audience, I gave a little small teaser, but kind of tell us a little bit about your career and what inspires you to launch your own business.
So right now I am actually a spiritual mentor, and it's an interesting path from a finance and real estate professional to being spiritual mentor, but it is actually all related. All my life journey, I felt that there is something bigger beyond the material reality. And I always explored spirituality, esoterics, and psychology, and was learning and diving into that to apply into my life. And I did create a beautiful life for myself. Coming from a poor USSR family, I came to the US 10 years ago and built what many would call an American dream. Living in the Hamptons, having several businesses, my career in finance, career in real estate in the most luxurious places in the world, the Hamptons. And at the same time, I continued to research and explore psychology, spirituality, and esoterics. And I give it a huge credit to my accomplishments in life. At the same time, at some point, I realized that it works, everything works, but something was missing in my life. And that something was I created an American dream that many would consider success, but for me, it wasn't my authentic path. So 2.5 years ago, I just, I had a turning moment in my life when I finally realized that I collected so much knowledge and so much skills that I cannot not share. And on top of that, I went even deeper into the search in spirituality, search for myself, changing my life completely, moving from New York to Miami, and I started to work with the clients as a life coach, then as more as an energy coach, providing theta healing, hypnosis sessions, Reiki sessions. And now I have my own techniques working with the clients where I use energy work to connect people back to themselves, back to the source within, to remind them they are creators of their own life, and they can create anything they want from a place of love, actually from any place, but from a place of love and from a place of authenticity. It's so much more enjoyable. And by finding that for myself, I cannot not share it with people now. And that's my mission in life.
And with you having such a successful career prior to what you're doing now, I mean, growing up, earlier you said you moved to the United States 10 years ago. Where did you come from outside the United States, and what was your family like? Were they also rooted into finances as well?
So yeah, I grew up in USSR and then born in Moldavia. When USSR was falling apart, my parents moved to Russia. I was a kid. I moved with them to the small little rural town, and I've never felt I belong there, never. And I always felt there's something bigger for me. So fearlessly, I was going for it, step by step. And started my finance career back in Russia, in St. Petersburg, then in Moscow. And then 10 years ago, came to get my MBA degree in Cambridge, Massachusetts, in the US. From there, moved to New York City and lived there for 8 years. There, I worked in finance. I was having a house and a family in the Hamptons and working real estate there. And 2.5 years ago, I moved to Miami. And actually, right now, I live between Miami and south of France. I'm here in south of France for the season right now, and I love the combination between Europe and the US. My work is flexible right now. I provide many sessions for my clients online, so that works perfectly, and I feel that living between different continents, between different countries, also let me spread my work worldwide. So I'm blessed.
Once again, talking to our guest today, Tatiana Flow. You can go to her website, tatianaflow.com. And I have to say, you are definitely living the American dream. And I want to dive deeper into what you experience working with professionals in Wall Street and also New York real estate, because I feel like everything you've done, you are very sure of yourself, very confident in yourself. Kind of explain to the audience how that allowed you to blossom and live this American dream where you have that work ethic and clarity on your mindset and on your goals and how you want to push yourself.
So right now, I actually say that I left my American dream for my authentic dream life. And the difference between is American dream life is something other people define as success. Authentic dream life is, it doesn't matter what other people think. And I do live an amazing, comfortable life. And I love what I do. And of course, all my career in finance, in real estate, it built inside me this discipline. It built this understanding, very well understanding of material world, where I can create. No matter what my background is, I can create anything I want in life. I know that because I've done that, and I can teach other people to do that. And on top of that, my path, my spiritual path, added some even more fulfillment in my life. So when you say push yourself, I would say that's something I've done before, but it does make you burn out when you push yourself into something you define as success, but maybe you don't like that much. So now I'm more allowing myself to see what I truly love, allowing myself to see the opportunities that life brings to me. And instead of going with some fantasies of my minds, what I want. I follow my intuition, my heart, and that allows so much more magic and creation in a good way to unfold for me in the material life through that connection to my authentic self, to my intuition. And that becomes actually light and easy. You don't have to push yourself. You need to listen to yourself carefully and follow that. And then it's actually easy. And there's lots of freedom and joy in this lifestyle.
And that's coming from someone like yourself who's very, very successful. So I really think people should definitely take notes on what you're saying, because you mentioned the word discipline, but you also...
Definitely. It's a combination of discipline and flow. Discipline is still there. I still, I still have big dreams, and I do go towards them. I make actions happen. But I also allow myself to be in the flow. And even though I am proactive towards my dreams, at the same time, if in the moment I feel that's not the right thing to do, even if I planned it, I can cancel it. And it always works even better than it would go according to the plan. So I listen to myself in the moment, and it always works better than any plans, anything my mind can create. Again, intuition is much, much stronger if you learn to listen to it in terms of being successful, really, truly, truly successful in life, and making it happen from a joyful place,
And speaking of a joyful place, you have a book that you wrote as well. So you're an author. Can you share the audience a little bit about a book that you wrote and how that also contributes to your mission?
Thank you for the question. And my book is called Elegantly Simple, because it is so simple in life when you truly, truly get it. And we tend to complicate it with the mind, with our fears. Fears make us freeze. But when you don't give any focus or energy to your fears and don't act out of fears, because I'm afraid I'm not going there. No, even if I'm afraid I'm going there, or because I just don't choose to act out of fear. So when you live this way, it's really simple. You just follow your true authentic path, your intuition. And this book was kind of born through me. It's a collection of my thoughts and a collection of my experiences for myself and with my clients, for them as well. How connecting back to yourself, how learning to see destructive mind programs and rewrite them changes your life, the quality of life, to a completely new one. When you see the world as a whole, when you see how you can, the reality clearly, you truly have a choice in life, only then. And from that place, again, you can create anything you want in your life consciously. So that's, in short, what book is about.
And when it comes to abundance, because when people try to understand abundance, they think of different things. But you kind of focus on the bigger picture, is including yourself, your health, and your growth. Explain to the audience why that is so important, to expand from material things to also basically yourself, wholeness of yourself.
Of course. Actually, when I was, working with the wealthiest people on the planet, I saw so many people very, very wealthy, very rich, and very, very miserable. And that made me think about that, right? So many people think that if they have millions, they will be happy. And it's not necessarily the truth. Of course, money makes you feel comfortable and safe, but you still can be as miserable. And I've seen it. And that's why, like, through my experience, through my own experience as well, I realized, first of all, money is energy, as everything else around us. And you should approach it as energy. When you push or act out of fears, kind of goes away, or you can even make lots of money out of fears, but you won't be happy. You will be miserable. I've seen it. So creating everything in your life from a place of love, including your wealth, is very important. Doing something you truly, truly love. Feeling that it's about the state, the internal state of being abundant, attracting everything in life. And that abundance includes not only material things, it of course includes relationship with your loved ones, relationship with yourself, because you should be the first person you love, truly. And out of that place, you can love the whole world sincerely. It's a relationship with yourself and your health, because why, with all the millions on your account, if you're not healthy, if you're not happy, so what? So abundance for me is just that internal state of freedom, internal state of being able to live your authentic path and attract, as a magnet, beautiful things in your life. And I work with the energy of life, with the energy of love that clears all the blockages. And I truly believe that abundance in health comes also from a deep connection to your true self, because if you're disconnected, that's where misalignment happens, first on energetic level, and then it goes on physical level, your physical body, and that creates those blockages, traumas that are stuck in your body, create those diseases. And to prevent that is to learn to connect to yourself, to live through everything in life, embracing it, because anything you resist, anything you try to fight gets stuck in your body and becomes, again, blockages, diseases. So for example, I'm 39 years old. People give me from 5 to 10 years younger, and I'm getting only younger every year. And
I can see that.
State. Yeah, it's an internal state of being. And I'm extremely healthy. I rarely get sick. I really, it's just, and it's all internal state. And I feel abundant in health. I feel abundant in my material life and my finances. And I feel free to be myself fully. And that's the quality of life I would sincerely want everyone to experience. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
I mean, Tatiana looked like she's 29. So yeah, that's awesome. When you have that very full quality state of mind, because I want to touch back on what you just recently talked about with relationships, because when we hang out with our friends or with our families, we're really creating these moments in present time that later is, a memory that we reflect on. So it's taking that time to create those memories, if you will. So when it comes to relationships, someone listening right now, how can they, be more intentional in creating these moments in their life? because we all have our favorites of whatever, food, color, music, environment, whatever our goals are in life or whatever. But how can the person who's listening, generally speaking, start that process to be more, more aware, self-aware of what their intentions are, so that way they can purposely start these, pockets of moments in their life and create memories?
Definitely, self-awareness is a very good word for what I'm talking about, because so many people just live in the loop of their own patterns and mind programs, not even realizing that. And it takes an effort, an internal work to see that and to actually change that. And by changing your reactions and actions from what you always were doing, you change your external reality. From making this internal shift, you create your external reality. And that takes a lot of self-awareness to really create, not just live in that loop of patterns. So yeah, great word, self-awareness.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna listen to this show again. This episode right here is very powerful because Tatiana is doing it. Yeah, and that's the coolest thing about this show. I interview these amazing people who are, very successful in their career or, just in life in general. Everyone is always asking, okay, what's the secret sauce? Or how'd you get this person on the show? Or how'd you talk to this person? It's kind of everything that you already talking about right now. You're present, you're self-aware, and you really are just living in the now. I always tell people there's no secret sauce. You live in the moment, because if you truly live in the moment, then you are also allowing yourself to make these necessary adjustments. If you're trying to improve, this area in your life or that area in your life, you have to be very aware of what you're doing and where you are. Because if you don't ever pick a target, I always say this all the time, but I like to repeat it, is if you don't pick a target, you're going to end up anywhere on the map. So you have to be very intentional what you're trying to do. So if you want to make an adjustment, then you have to surround yourself with, good people who can kind of have accountability for you. And if you want to learn, well, then you have to be intentional. You have to be very specific in what you're trying to learn. Because if you don't, you're just going to be all over the place. And you're going to be, unbalanced.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for those deep thoughts, Shemai. I absolutely agree with you. And in terms of the present moment, it has not always been this way for me. And I also was kind of in this, what's called rat race or something, mood, when I was having big dreams and going for them and getting them, but at the same time not being able to enjoy the present. And I realize now what's what so many people, and I was as well in the past, are missing. It's when you have a big goal. For example, just making an example, I want to live in the house. I'm living in the apartment now. And because I don't have a house, it's my big goal. I am suffering now because I don't have it yet. Even if I decided I want the house today, now I'm suffering because I still don't have it, And what I learned to do is, oh my God, I have all these big dreams and it's amazing. It gives me direction. It gives me purpose and focus in life. And at the same time, I enjoy what I have now. I'm really, really grateful for everything I have now. And I just enjoy every step of the way towards my big dreams. So that shift, when you have both, that's what makes, again, a different quality of life and more enjoyable and happier life overall.
Man, Well, this show is like another 30 more minutes, man, because I feel like we just barely touching the surface, man. Once again, true honor talking to our guest, Tatiana Flow. You can go to her website, tatianaflow.com. And there's so many things I want to say, but because of time, I can't even say, but I will say this. Because I like what you said about appreciating what you have now. And I want to add to that, and that is, if you don't appreciate what you have today, there's no way you can appreciate what you have tomorrow. Because I feel like it's a unending revolving door. So if you start down that revolving door of being ungrateful, it's going to be super hard to change instantly. So if you practice today to be grateful, then you can open up the gifts that come for you tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Man.
100% behind your words, yes.
Quickly, last words for you, for our audience. What's a good call to action and your last thoughts for our audience?
Well, I just want to invite everyone to stop being afraid. Start living from your heart and follow it. There's so much freedom in it, and it's infinite. There's so much magic in it, and it's infinite. And if you need any help on that path, I'm here for you, and I'm happy to bring you to that state with the energy work I do. Every time my clients live through that freedom, state of freedom and connection with themselves, I live through that with them. I relive it over and over again with my clients. It's an unbelievable feeling, and I do it from my heart. I love that. So I would be happy to see anyone who needs a little bit more of guidance towards that new, free, and abundant quality of life.
Once again, true honor talking to our special guest today, Tatiana Flow. Go to her website, tatianaflow.com. And man, appreciate your time. Hopefully we can have you back on in the future.
Thank you so much, Maya. It was a pleasure talking to you today.